Hello and welcome to Genius Indian. Friends, the most important difference between the conventional economy and the green economy is that the green economy believes in sustainable development and that it believes in including the calculation of natural capital. Now, we all know about the conventional economy, and those of you who have been following the Genius Indian channel also know about the green economy. So it is a logical step that we must also look at the concept of natural capital. And that's what we are going to do today. Natural capital can be defined as the world's stock of natural assets, which includes geology, soil, air, water, sunlight, rocks, minerals, as well as all the living beings. As you can understand, this natural capital is extremely vital for us. We use this natural capital on a daily basis, and in fact, without this capital, our life will be impossible. You see, to grow revenue, all companies depend on Earth's support systems, such as a stable climate or clean water, as well as natural resources such as land and timber and rocks and minerals. And the proponents of natural capital claim that right now most natural assets are grossly underpriced in the market, which results in their mindless exploitation at an unsustainable rate. For example, leather tanneries in Kanpur use a whole lot of chemicals for processing their leather, and then they simply discharge their industrial waste in Ganga river, simply because they think that Ganga is free. As you can understand, this is a flawed thinking, as Ganga is not just a sacred river for most Indians, but it is also a natural capital for the country. Polluters fail to realize that this 2,600 kilometers long river is basically a lifeline to hundreds of millions of people who use its water for drinking and cooking as well as for growing their crops. Now, if all these tanneries were asked to install proper effluent treatment systems, then it will cost them extra money. And in that case, they will be forced to increase the prices of their products accordingly, or otherwise accept a cut in their profits. And because they are reluctant to do so, the government and the law enforcing agencies are now punishing them through financial penalties. For example, in November 2019, the National Green Tribunal of India slapped a fine of 280 crore rupees on 22 tanneries from Kanpur city, simply to send a signal to other polluters who harm the natural capital of the country in some other segment, in some other parameters. Natural capital is a new way for businesses to think about the environment, a way that overcomes the current disconnect between economic growth and the nature. Natural capital valuation process prices these natural assets so that companies can see their true value to their businesses. As the population grows and as the businesses compete for a fixed supply of natural assets, the companies are being asked to pay for natural capital costs, and these costs are increasing day by day due to the increased awareness about the scarcity of the natural capital as well as the threat of pollution to the world as a whole. According to a school of thought, there are 6 major types of natural capital: geology, soil, air, water, organisms, and systems. By systems, here we mean ecosystems. As we know, ecosystems are complex biological communities of interacting organisms which interact with their physical environment to produce a whole lot of outcomes which we human beings need for our survival. Some examples of ecosystems are agroecosystems, forest ecosystems, grassland ecosystems, and aquatic ecosystems. These ecosystems, while functioning in healthy symbiotic relationship, offer services like pollinating our crops, cleaning our air, filtering out our drinking water, decomposing our waste products, and helping us grow our crops. It is an ecosystem that makes trees along the river banks hold the soil in its place and improve the water quality for people living downstream. It is an ecosystem that makes mangroves stabilize the shorelines and decrease the damage to people and property from storms and cyclones. It is a complex ecosystem that makes forests and oceans store the carbon, which helps regulate our climate. Similarly, ecosystems around the lakes and mountains provide aesthetic views, opportunities for recreation, and spiritual inspiration. As we can understand, the ecosystem services provide us human beings with countless benefits, and that's why they need to be taken care of, and that's why they are worthy of being considered a natural capital. So the question arises, how do we calculate the natural capital? Well, calculating natural capital is not easy. It is not easy to put a value on a forest or a river or unpolluted air. But as we stand on the brink of climate change, scientists and ecologists and economists are trying to achieve this goal. We already have a rough idea about the benefits of some components of nature. For example, we know that the trees provide us with lots of economic benefits, and some efforts have been there to quantify them. For example, according to urbanforestry.network.org, over a 50-year lifespan, a tree generates almost $32,000 worth of oxygen and provides $62,000 worth of air pollution control. This tree would also be responsible for recycling $37,000 worth of water and controlling $31,000 worth of soil erosion. The book Life Without Worries and Illness claims that a tree that lives for 50 years generates 5.3 lakh rupees worth of oxygen, recycles 6.4 lakh rupees worth of fertile soil, controls soil erosion, and creates shelter for innumerable birds and animals. Besides, it provides flowers and fruits and timber. So the next time you have the opportunity, please plant a tree. If you don't have the opportunity to do so, then please save a tree from being cut down or from being destroyed, and make sure that you don't do anything that harms a tree or a forest or an ecosystem. And by doing this, you will not be doing any great favor to that tree or that ecosystem. You will, in fact, be being nice to yourself and your children, whose life depends on trees and complex ecosystems around them. And of course, being nice to yourself also means constantly learning about new things. And that's what we do here at Genius Indian. And that's what we will be doing even in our next episode. So please don't miss it. And the best way not to miss it is to subscribe to Genius Indian channel. And the best way to spread the knowledge is to like and share the video. And the best way to improve the quality of the work is to provide your valuable feedback to me. And finally, the best way to end this conversation is to thank you for your valuable time. Thanks for watching.